Hello, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you doing on another beautiful sunny day in Somerset, England? Somerset, England. I think there's a Somerset in the US. There's an everything in the US, isn't there? So one has to say London, England, Somerset, England, because I'm sure there's a Somerset somewhere, probably upstate New York. Really great to see you. Sorry, an email comes in and I get distracted. I need to stop all that happening. And also, I'm going to create a little bit of a, I don't know if studio is the right word, a little bit of a setting so you're not always seeing my kitchen sink. Lovely though it is, quite frankly, but And also, I'm going to get a new phone, which means you don't get to see this blurry look. But most importantly, I've got some proper help. Found a fabulous girl to help me with all this stuff who lives literally around the corner. Alan, great to see you there. I love setting an intention and then the thing manifests so easily, so effortlessly. I mean, life isn't always like that, eh? But when it is like that, wow, it's terrific. So I'm excited about that. So Amber, if you're watching this, I'm talking about you. Absolutely. So where are you today, Alan? And how? Most importantly, how's the weather? Do you know, the people I'm sure in the whole world who talk more about the weather than anyone else, I've got no statistics for this, obviously, but I believe it to be true from experience. The people who obsess and discuss the weather most more than anyone else in the whole world are the North of Ireland people in the North of Ireland. More than even the South of Ireland. So if you're from the South of Ireland, no, it's the North. I suspect because we get more rain there and it just feels more dark, frankly, than anywhere else. Now, I know Aberdeen apparently has more darkness or less light than anywhere in the UK. I don't know about Aberdeen. I just know that in Northern Ireland, when you talk to somebody, you haven't seen them for a while, it's like, how's the weather? I mean, maybe it's like, well, how are you? But actually it's, how's the weather? Yeah, it's a bit like, yeah, but you know, it's supposed to, yeah, let's see, fingers crossed. It's an obsession. And it's never left me because it just makes such a difference to the course of your day. And when I lived in Ibiza for a couple of years, people were like, yeah, why are you always asking about the weather? Because every day in Ibiza, if you're American, every day there is a sunny day, hey, pretty much, a little bit of rain in the winter, but you know, not a lot. But I just couldn't believe that I was in this paradise place where it's just sunny every day. Every day I'd be like, wow, it's sunny again. And people are like, yeah, it's Ibiza, it's sunny. So nice to see you there. Here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go back to basics, right? And ask the question, change. Why bother? Why bother? Because, you know, I'm going on about September being the new January, the new year. I'm going on about, hey, we're coming out of this, I have to be careful about my words now, I'll get into trouble. We're coming out of this time of lockdown. I obviously have an opinion on lockdowns and whether they work and what the real purpose of them is. We're not going there. My only point is we're coming out of that time of restriction and rules and all of that stuff. We're free, thank God. So we get to figure out how we want life to be, right? So what are we talking about? We're talking about change. Now, some people could say, well, why? Why bother? I mean, not in a lackadaisical resignation way, but they could have read The Power of Now. They could be followers of Eckhart Tolle, and I'm one of those myself, frankly. I love Eckhart Tolle. Been to see him in London, spent money on tickets to see him. I think he's great. But some people could think, well, now, you know, being in the present moment, that means just literally being completely concerned about this here and now and not thinking about the what else. Well, you see, I disagree with that. And I also think that's not an accurate interpretation of what Eckhart Tolle says. Because Eckhart Tolle also says being in the present moment does not mean that you don't have goals, that you're not looking as well to the future, right? It means that you are appreciating this present moment. You appreciate this present moment, right? You give thanks for it. Gratitude, hugely important. Now, what Eckhart would also say, and every person who teaches on manifestation from forever, and the Bible as well, they would say this is a foundation for creating more. This is a foundation for creating more of the same. So how you feel now is the foundation for your future. So building in appreciation, building in gratitude, having a good, healthy foundation of how you feel right now is crucial to attracting more of the same going forward. So absolutely appreciating this present moment is really important, and being thankful and having that feeling of gratitude within you that one has to summon sometimes consciously. In fact, one probably needs and should do it consciously as a practice every day, right? So, nonetheless, I am a big believer in creating change, right, on a regular basis and doing it in a conscious way. Why is that? That is because change equals growth. Change equals growth. Now, I believe that we're here to grow in life. Would you agree with me? Anybody agree with me there? That change equals growth, right? Let me see who's here. We've got lovely Sandy. We have wonderful Alan. We have Iris, and I'm so happy that I'm saying Iris's name properly. I'm not saying Iris, because I know that Iris, that's a Polish name, and Polish names are really nice. I have a lovely friend who's Patricia. Hope I'm saying that properly. A lot of her English friends call her Pat. I mean, please, let's make the effort, guys, right? Denise, lovely to see you. Elizabeth, lovely to see you. So look, guys, can I get a yes to growth? Change equaling growth. Here is why growth is important. Growth is important because it stretches you. And in life, in nature, there is no standing still. There's no standing still. There's either decay or there's growth, right? And the beautiful thing about growth is it pulls the best out of you. It allows you to feel more alive because you are activating your God-given talents. You are here to grow. You have this little bag of God-given talents, skills, and abilities that is your unique combination, right? And you're here to bring those out and put them into good use in the world. It's like the parable from the Bible, right? The talents. The dad gives his 3 sons this equal amount of money, and how they use it is the crucial thing. So you are here to bring those beautiful talents out into the world for your good and the good of all. Now, I saw this demonstrated. By the way, I'm going to give you the big benefit of embracing being a growth-orientated person in a moment. But I wanted to share with you what I saw the other day in my local Waitrose. And it really showed me the purpose and the benefit and the driving force that connection, commitment to change and growth really brings about you and a person, right? I'm at the checkout and there's this chap, lovely chap on the checkout who is probably no more, could not be 20. I don't think it would be even be 20, 18, 19 perhaps, right? And he's chatting away with the chap in front of me and I'm putting my stuff on the belt, right? And he's connecting with me. And you know, quite often you're in a rush. And you just want to do the thing, get through it. But you know, this chap was just having none of that. He was having none of it. He was like eye contact. He was engaging with me as a human being, not another person putting stuff on the belt, right? And he was like, well, how's your day been? And what do you do? And part of me was going, oh, I don't want to have this conversation. I just want to get my stuff and go. But hey, he was having none of that. And I thought to myself, and he reminded me, well, actually, you're a human being. If I don't want to engage with you as a human being, I should have gone down there and just done this stuff myself, you know, that self-service thing. So I engaged and chatted as we, you know, in between the bananas and the biscuits and whatever. And I said to him, so what time do you finish? And he said, well, the store closes at 8 o'clock in 10 minutes. I won't get out of here till 10:30. And I was like, wow, that's late. And he said, yeah, I started at 1 today, but that's okay. I said, so why are you here till 10:30? He said, because I'm going for team leader. Now, I don't know what he had to do in those 2.5 hours. We didn't get to that. But here's my point. What was driving him was the fact that he had growth identified. He had growth that he was excited about. He was not content to just spending however long years his life being there, doing that role. No, it was a means to somewhere else. And while he was there, he was great at it as well. That's the interesting thing. It wasn't like he was miserable going, oh, I hate this. It's such a monotonous job. I can't wait to get something better. No, he was like so enthusiastic, so engaged, so friendly, and he had his growth identified. And that really showed me 3 things. It showed me that when you identify your growth, when you commit to it, when you see it just ahead of you, you're more energized in the present moment. You're more energized in the present moment. It doesn't mean, or it doesn't necessarily mean that you're like, oh, I hate my life. I'll be happy when I get there. No, I mean, obviously that's a choice. I wouldn't encourage it. But you're much more likely, especially if you choose it, to feel energized in this present moment, which, remember, as Eckhart Tolle would say, that's the best foundation for creating more growth, more of the same. Here's the other thing. You're going to enjoy your life more when you are committed to change, committed to growth, because you're going to feel pulled forward. See, this young lad was pulled forward. He wasn't tired. He had energy. He'd been working from 1 o'clock and he wasn't going to leave the store till 10:30, right? And then he'd have to get home after that. But he felt energized. You could tell he was energized and he was choosing. So whatever he was doing between 8 o'clock when he officially finished work and 10:30, I got the impression that was very much his choice. And he was entirely energized. So I promised you that I would share what the enormous benefit is of embracing growth and being this growth-driven person. Here's the huge benefit. The huge benefit is who you become as a person and how you are in the world and how people see you. Making sense, guys? Making sense? Because who you are being is what attracts people to you more than anything else. Remember, people make their mind up about you in 7 seconds before you've opened your mouth, before you've spoken. Before you've spoken. So what are they picking up on? How can they make that decision about you? And by the way, if you're in business and you're speaking on stage, or you're meeting people, or you're networking, they're also making that decision whether they're going to work with you. Whether you're a coach, whether you're a consultant, whatever you're selling, right? And it's going to be the same if you work in an organization. It's going to be exactly the same. There's that famous statistic about interviews. You haven't even put your bum on the seat and the people have already decided. That's less than 7 seconds, right? The rest of the interview is like going through the motions. People have already decided. What are they making a decision on? What is it about you that people make a decision on? I put it to you, ladies and gents, it is your energy. Now, what is your energy? Your energy is you. It's that combination of your thoughts and beliefs and attitudes that make up your energy, that feeling that people have from you, that people get from you. Now, here's an interesting thing. Wallace D. Wattles, I love those names, obviously American chap, obviously writing in the, I guess, 1920s, 30s probably. But anyway, Wallace D. Wattles wrote a great book called The Science of, gosh, I wish I could remember it now. I think it's The Science of Getting Rich. You'll see it on Amazon. Pretty sure it's The Science of Getting Rich. Anybody heard of Wallace D. Wattles? Am I right there? Is it The Science of Getting Rich? I think it is something like that, actually. Now, it's actually a great book. Hi, Annie, nice to see you there. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Islam. And I hope I've got that right. Yeah, hope I've got that right. So look, here is what Wallace D. Wattles talked about in The Science of Getting Rich. It's a really interesting concept. Really interesting concept. He talked about something called the impression of increase. The impression of increase. And by the way, I could always, if you want me to, put a yes in the thread if you'd like me to post the impression of increase, because I sort of got it as a handout when I was running some groups a while back. But anyway, so I can do that. The impression of increase. What is the impression of increase? Wallace D. Wattles said that human beings all share one thing, one desire. What we all have in common, he said, I agree with him, he said that we all have a desire, an inbuilt desire for growth. He called it advancement. I'm calling it growth. He called it advancement. He said every human being on the planet, doesn't matter which part of the world they're in, it doesn't matter what color they are, it doesn't matter what background they come from. He said every human being has a desire for more, to advance in life, more life, right? I think that's a great thing. I think it's a terrific thing. Now, here's the interesting thing. He said that if people see you, sense you, feel you to be a person who can offer advancement, they will be attracted to you. They will be drawn to you. They will want to be around you. And if you're selling a service, they will buy services from you. In fact, it's probably the only time, I would say it is the only time, that people spend money with you. Or if you're in business, that you get, sorry, if you're in an organization, that you get promoted. The impression of increase. That people see you as someone who can help them advance, increase their lot in life. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a selfish thing. But the really important thing is that you grasp this. So what it means is that you get to become a person who personifies growth. You get to become a person who is driven, who is energized, who is enthusiastic about their life. Because I put it to you that that's the only time people are buying from you. Now look, clearly you have got to be creating change and growth in a grounded way. not just, hey, singing and dancing and being all excited and enthusiastic. You know, there's got to be a grounding to you as well, but that's a very powerful combination of the grounded achievement in reality. Doesn't mean that you have to be perfect, doesn't mean that you have to be a squillionaire, no. You just have to have a degree of achievement. 2 steps beyond, let's say, what people want. So they just need to see that you're a little bit beyond where they currently are. But that enthusiasm, that spirit that you bring to the table, as it were, is very important. So the impression of increase, right? In other words, people aren't buying from you if you are someone who is stuck, feels stuck, who's not moving forward in their life, who doesn't see a vision, who's not committed to that, and who's driving their life forward. So exciting, isn't it? It's exciting. I love it. I love it. So is this making sense, guys? And if you would like the impression of increase, hi, Susan, let me know, right? Put yes in that thread and I'll post it here so you can see it. So is this making sense? Are you up for growth? Are you up for change? Are you an impression of increased person? Because here's the thing. Oh, hi, Deborah. Lovely to see you there. Here's the thing. It begins with a decision. Begins with a decision, right? Begins with a decision. So whether you're that 18-year-old kid who's on the checkout at Waitrose, God bless him, really God bless him, do you think I should give him a copy of my book? Or is that a little bit egotistical? I think I should, actually. I thought about it afterwards. I will. I'm going to give him, I'll give him Be Your Own Life Coach. But you see, whether you're that 18-year-old kid who's on the checkout at Waitrose, or whether you're 50 and you're 55 or 60 and you're like, you know, running a 6 or 7 figure business, growth is the thing that will leave you feeling fully alive, feeling more excitement, more anticipation, more energy, more enthusiasm, and more joy in your life. Just make sure that it doesn't stop you enjoying this present moment. That's really important. I remember my son said something recently and I thought, ah! He said, he was talking about a job that he wanted to get. He's just gone back to Berlin. His girlfriend's in Berlin. He's just gone back there. And he was talking about this place that he really wanted to work at. And he said, oh, if I get that job, I'll be happy. I know I'll be happy if I get that job. You see? And I said, listen, come on, be careful. Be careful. Because if you go through life thinking that's going to make me feel good, that's going to make me happy, I'll be happy when I get that, or him or her, you're robbing yourself of feeling joy and enthusiasm and excitement and aliveness in the present moment. You know that. I know you know this. I'm just reminding you. So you don't want to do that, obviously. Feeling good, appreciating what you have now, feeling grateful for what you have now. This is the foundation. It's a healthy foundation, a solid foundation for more good stuff going forward. So feel good now while you anticipate and plan for and work towards the growth. The growth. All right, my darlings, I hope this has been useful for you today. I'll be here tomorrow, same time. I'm going to go out for my run now. I'm obsessed, as you probably know, with steps. I've got a pedometer. I've got something tracking me on my phone. So I'm obsessed with getting 7,000 steps a day, and so I got to get going. All right, my darlings, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend time with you today. See you tomorrow. Take care for now. Bye.